Welcome back to 31 horror movies that I've never seen in 31 days. Today's video that I watched, Visiting Hours. This film stars William Shatner and Michael Ironside. And I just want to say that Michael Ironside does a fantastic job at his performance in this film. If it wasn't for him, this movie would be nothing. I loved him in this role. This movie is fantastic. It is great. Michael Ironside plays a psychotic killer. And he has major childhood problems. And at the beginning of the movie, he tries to kill a TV journalist at her home who somehow said some stuff about male violence that he didn't agree with, and I don't know, it hurt him in some way, and it triggers his psychotic nerve or something, and he goes after her in her home and tries to kill her. But things don't go accordingly, and he only injures her, and she ends up in the hospital. And when he finds out about this, he goes to the hospital himself to try to finish the job. And at that point, they have already moved the room that she was in and replaced her with another patient. And so he goes in the room expecting to find her, finds the other patient, gets even more angered, and he kills the patient and the nurse. So they send in a security team and everything. They have police lined up out front of the building trying to keep everything aligned, and that he does not get back in. They're trying to search for him. They don't know who did this. So it comes from that point on, another nurse gets involved, and he follows her to her home and tries to kill her. Somehow he doesn't kill her at that specific time. I don't know why he doesn't kill her when he's there. Something happens and he just doesn't do it. I think he sees their kids, or that she has kids, and that he doesn't do it at that time. Anyways, he leaves, and she goes back to work. And then a few days later, he goes back to the hospital and he tries to kill that lady again and the other nurse, and it doesn't work. So he disguised himself as an EMT to get in, but it doesn't work. He can't find these two people. He goes back to the woman's home, calls the hospital, and threatens her with killing her kids. And so she runs home to save them, only to find him in their house. The kids are okay, but he finds them there. And Michael Ironside's character stabs her in the stomach, and he thinks she's dead, but she's not. She's only injured. They rush her to the hospital, and Michael Ironside's character goes back to his own apartment to rest or whatever. But while he's there, he decides that he needs to get back in the hospital, and he can't get through security, so he overdoses on drugs, and he injures himself. That way they can take him to the emergency room and he can get in. So he goes into once he does this, he gets into the emergency room. He realizes that he's okay, or he can get out and finish the job. So he goes and looks for these two nurses, or goes and looks for the nurse and a TV journalist, and tries to hunt them down to kill them. And he chases the TV journalist throughout the hospital, through the basement and everything. And he just keeps chasing her and chasing her and chasing her. It goes on for about 10 minutes, and it comes to the conclusion at the very end where he has a knife and he tries to stab her. Knife gets into her hands, she stabs him, and movie's over. So this was a fantastic film. It played out pretty much like a blend between a thriller and a slasher, because you already know who the killer is from the very beginning of the film, but yet the deaths are more played out like a slasher film. You even get some of the POV style footage, point of view of the killer. But all in all, the film was fantastic. I love Michael Ironside. He's a terrific actor, and he does a fantastic job at his performance as a psychotic killer in this film. And I highly recommend this film. It's one of the best that Michael Ironside has done besides Scanners. So I do recommend this to anybody who is a fan of horror films. So that is Visiting Hours from 1981. So thank you guys for watching my 31 horror movies that I've never seen in 31 days.